We love beef here. So where do we start? I suppose beef is our biggest seller in the shop here, and I suppose we take a great pride in our beef and how we cut it and how we age it and stuff like that. You know, and like I suppose with our beef, like we have everything from mince to steaks and stuff like that, and I suppose it's our biggest seller in the shop, and it's the thing that we mind and we take, as I was saying, there are a lot of pride in. So all our beef, like we dry age now at the moment, we block in. As I was telling you, from these blocks of Himalayan sea salt. We have thousands. We have thousands of these. We have them in our fridges. Then we have dry ages here that we just have. They're like for show, but they're all. As you can see from the temperature, the humidity, and all that. So they're all computerized in that too. So we know exactly what we're doing, and we with the weight that goes into it and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of work and a little bit of science in it, but like as I've shown you this morning, it's well worth the time at the end. You know? With Himalayan sea salt and the aging, like I worked in America, worked like yourself from all over the world, and we've done different types of aging. But it's only when we came back and started looking at ourselves, it all starts coming back to you. You know what I mean? What you did and stuff like that. But we find the dry aging, it's definitely brought our beef to another level. Do you know?
It's beautiful. It looks stunning. Look at this. How long have we?
The top one's there, Tom. I think the top one's there are 42 days. So when we see how dark and all that they are now, like there is, the only thing is you have a little bit of weight loss with them, you know, because they're dry, but like the end product are going to be, you can see these ones here from just from the side. That's your end product now. So that's the steaks that came out from this on the weekend.
Stunning.
You know, so you can see the colour here.
Look at the marble. They're beautiful and dry.
Beautiful and dry. Yeah. And even for butchers as ourselves, it's cutting them, like it's just. You'd be excited.
I like cutting butter, yeah.
Oh, it's fat, yeah. It's fat.
Look at the colour. Oh my god.
I think it's sea salt. We can do the strip lines now,
Stunning, aren't they?
yeah, and you see how red they are now, to how dark they are there. So there is a little bit of, we have a little bit of weight loss and stuff like that, but I'm going to bring out a strip line now in a second. I'm going to show you too how dark that is. But so we find that even with the dry aging, I suppose it's, what we find is it really enhances the flavour. But I suppose with beef, like what we start with first is beef. We start with heifer beef. Then we go by age, conformation, breeds, all that. You have to work all that into first. And then once you start, we find like yourself to mention enough, once you start with the best ingredients, everything is easy then.
Yeah.
You know, so all this just like adds more to it then.
And it's just by keeping it simple, I suppose, and let the flavour develop by itself.
Exactly.
And you're not going to add, there's no additives, there's
No additives.
and shortcuts.
No shortcuts. Yeah. That's the trouble. And like our customers know, sometimes you come into the shop here, like we don't have strip lines, we won't have fillet steak, we don't have T-bone. It's not because we're lazy, we don't want to cut them, but because we know from the ones from the week before, like if they're a little bit not, you're better off waiting another week.
Oh, definitely.
Steak and beef is expensive, like, because we buy the best, we give out the best, you know. So they are, but when they come to this, like you're better off just waiting another week or two and have it 100% right, you know. Because what we do, we decide here in the shop, like unless it's aged completely the way we want it, waste of time. You know? We're not happy to go out and then we'll go, our customer might take it on and say, geez, that was lovely, but if we know, you know, the next 2 or 3 days we make it, we better from a nice meal to beautiful meal.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you one of the strip lines that we have in the other dry age right there, just to show you how dark it is before we even trim it. And this, I just might bring it up the block, there's just to give you a better view of it there. Sorry now. There are blocks of Himalayan sea salt. And as you can see how dry that is, Tom, and it's solid. So we have to get all this off, trim it all off. Okay, so we lose a good bit of it before we get it down to that, but it's worth it. Like, I'll just show you the eye patch there now as well. Like they're ready to go now. These aren't not ready until Saturday.
And the flavour's intensifying into
the flavour's intensifying. And what you'll find with the Himalayan sea salt as well, small particles of it come in and it goes into the beef.
Of course it does.
You just have to be careful. I'm not going to tell people how long to age now because we have it made up ourselves now, so we're going to stick with that. But when it goes in, it makes a huge difference. But there's a certain stage that it gets where it won't get any better, and we're after finding that stage. Okay. You know, because we've tried steaks at all different ages. You know, we've gone through the whole lot of it, and seen what was the best. But now we know. You know, and by the time we get it in here, we know there's 2 more days left in that. There's a day and a half left in that. You know, and then when we take it out, we trim it all then, and we cut that day, so they're ready to go. What you'll find when we clear them, when we cut them, I'll just show you the strip lines are finished there again. Yeah. sorry about rambling on a bit about our beef now, but we put so much.
Look at that.
You see that now compared to what it's like there, so you can see that a lot of work goes in.
Yeah, so you take off the
You have to be very
edges.
precise,
Yeah.
very precise in how we train, very precise on what we buy as well. Because if you don't,
You're left with the prime centre.
you're left with the prime centre cut style. So like to get that to this stage here, all I'll just turn that over there so you see.
How many days do you leave the sirloin? The
These
strips?
These are about 40 days. These are around about 35, 40 days as well. Sometimes with the beef, if it's a bit smaller, we might leave it a little bit less.
Yeah.
If the beef is a bit bigger. Sometimes our steaks are different sizes, and the reason now, when we buy beef, if we think the beef is very good and we can't use it, we know we're not going to use it for 6 weeks, we still won't take the chance of leaving it to someone else gets, so we buy all of it. So the steaks might just get a bit bigger, you know, because they're still feeding away and stuff like that too. But this is all like, all the beef, it's just
Right. So you deal with the same farmers all the time?
same farm partners all the time, yeah. And we've dealt with them, I suppose. It took us about, when we came back from Australia, it took us about a year, I suppose, to get it, you know, to get it right. We brought them in here, showed them the finished product, because farmers like ourselves are very proud of what they produce, you know. And sometimes you were trying to explain to them, no, they're a little bit too fat for the customer. So we kept bringing them in and showing them exactly what they look. Some would say, no, I don't think that's my beef. And we say, no, this is your beef. And well, that's a little bit too fat, or it's a little bit not fat enough. And then once they get it, then they have it. And once you get your system into place and the feed into place and stuff like that, we don't mess around with anything. It's just good beef. Good beef. And that's it. And like even the breeds we use, just good beef breeds. People, you know, throw a load of words about this and that. Like most farmers and most customers are like, you get good beef breeds from good farmers. Like the minute you walk, even with the farmers we deal with, the minute you walk into yards, you know these ones are top class. Like everything's done. But they take great pride, like ourselves, Tom, when you're cooking, you know. And it's all like you've farmers, you've butchers, I suppose, and we've chefs, and then we've people cooking at home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But once you develop that trust with the farmer, that you know exactly what you're getting all the time, you know the quality is going to be there.
And trust is the word, Tom. Like our customers trust us that we're going to give them a good product. Do you know what I mean? And we trust our farmers; they're going to develop beef for us that our customers are going to be happy with. And like when someone comes into you and they say, "Look, I want 2 nice steaks. Look, I have an anniversary. I have something special occasion tonight." Like we and we don't say, "Oh, I'll get one for myself." We take them to the counter because everything that goes out, do you know,
it's top quality.
Is top quality. And the best that we can buy, do you know, we trim it as much as we can. A lot of work goes into the beef, a lot of work behind the scenes goes into the beef, but at the end of the day, when you can give someone 2 steaks like that to take home, that's the, I suppose that's the job satisfaction we get too, Tom. Do you know what I mean? That we're delivering, because everyone in Ireland has come from farming backgrounds. If it's not your parents, it's your grandparents, it's your great. So we're all from the land at some stage. You know what I mean? So it's nice then that we can keep, not saying keep farmers going, but like it's our job to keep quality Irish products for our customers, to keep all that chain going.
Yeah, and keep the heritage alive.
The heritage alive, yeah. Because when it goes, like we could be here for another 2 years talking about all this stuff, but like if that goes, like you break that chain, like I don't know when we get it back, Tom. Do you know what I mean? And we spoke about it before, making sausages by hand and stuff that they did. Like we're going back to, we're always going back.
Yeah.
Do you know, we're going back to the way they did it, they matured it longer. So like whatever they did in the past, we're still following it now. You might veer away from it, but when you go back to, you're still going back.
Yeah,
do you know?
Keeping it simple.
Very simple. Do you know, and that's what we
Let nature do its course.
Nature do its course here.
Like grass, keep it nice and lean.
Nice and lean, yeah, nice quality. Like you'll see them, even when you're going to see heifers in the field, you can pick them out, like you can see them, they're relaxed, they're happy, do you know what I mean?
It makes all the difference.
Huge difference. And it makes our job very easy, and it makes our job very enjoyable when you're cutting stuff like that. So when we're cutting these in the morning, like everything is, you know, they're solid when you're slicing, they sit well to you, you know, there's no, what we don't want is kind of flop beef, you know, a quality beef, by even by the touch, by the smell, do you know what I mean? You won't get into the solid as that one. Do you know what I mean? You get stuff, you know, when it's moving and it's not solid, you know, it's not good beef, you know. So that's my rant on beef this morning. I'll pop them back there. I'll pop you up to Tom now for a second.
Lovely. Do you want to have a look inside the...
We'll have a look inside the dryers, is that alright?
Mm-hmm.
And these are our top ones now, as you can see, Tom. All different now, like all darker than each other, like.
Yeah, I look at that.
And see now, they're not nearly ready yet now, because see from the touch.
Yeah.
We need, and the touch in the other
And
one as
they're
well.
3 weeks?
They're 3 weeks, I think these are going on 4 weeks now. I have to check the log there now. I think 4 weeks now. This is a bit more, a bit more solid, but it still needs, we know even when we're taking it, even though it's a lot of dark in it, we know it needs 2-3 more days. And I'll just show you something fresher that's gone in there.
So the salt here would absorb the moisture.
humidity, and we can all clear it then. So we put in, every Monday then we check the weight of the beef, and before we put it in, we check the humidity, how long the temperature and all that then as well. So these are the ones that came in this morning. These are a few weeks older. Then we brought them down from the other dry age fish, so you can see they haven't even started time.
Yeah, the difference in the colour.
Complete difference, like, do you know?
So you can see that, how much weight loss we've had here.
Oh,
the moisture's kind of gone in, and all the flavours
intensified even more. So what we try to do is we build up here. This is going in for a gentleman on the weekend. It's just a rub there. He wants it to rub, and keep that in there for 3 weeks from now.
Wow.
Do you know? Yeah, he wants it just big, thick steaks like that. So we hopefully get 4 big steaks off them like that. Do you know?
There's a lovely layer of fat on the
yeah,
as well.
Oh, lovely. So what we're looking for in beef is, I suppose, between 3 and 5 millimeters of fat.
Yeah.
But
especially on the rump, it's important to keep it on the rump then,
yeah.
so that when you cook it and you render the fat down,
yes,
it adds the flavour into
it. It adds the flavour to it, you know. So like it's very important that when we get our beef processed or slaughtered, as they call it, like the butchers that do that, like, we have to make sure they're highly skilled as well. Because what we want all that. Do you know, we don't want anything teared off, so we have to make sure that when they're processing as well, it's to the standard that we want as well. You know. So you can see this. I suppose this is our showing off fridge, because we have a full fridge inside, as you can see, with all the Himalayan sea salt. So we have all different ages, but it's lovely. When it comes out here, then it's beautiful. Do you know, and it's nice to kind of, even when I put them in here first, I was conscious of people looking at it, but then the more we're doing this, the more interested people were, like, you know. And people coming in now, like, it's enough, you keep 2 steaks off that for me, and do you know, we know by the grey now, but you can see now they're coming very close, like. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful. And people think, like, even with touch, we trip, like, I'm not supposed to have this up too long, but it's grand because it's for today. Like, once you know by touch, you know by smell, we'd be saying it's like a perfume when you open it up. Like, you can really.
The sweetness of it.
Oh, yeah. And people, it's hard to realise it, like, sometimes, and then you have a different type of beef, and then it's different. Do you know? We've tried these at every stage, every day, the same piece. Do you know?
Nice job.
Yeah, just everyone had their hand up here for that, and it's lovely, do you know, and like what you can do with the offcuts then, dry age burgers they're starting to become a massive seller for us. And dry age burgers, when we trim this then, so you can imagine you're getting a burger there, it's minced once, and all you're doing, sometimes we add salt, sometimes you can see beef, and all the beauty stuff, you know. So these all are in alarms then, so the minute that hits a different thing, the alarm goes off, so we're always safe with it. But the dry age burgers like ours,
gorgeous, I'd say.
Oh my God! Yeah. We started doing it first, and we've really perfected now. You know, it took us a couple of goes with it there to get to, you know, the right amount of fat in them. But once you perfect them, oh my God! And I'm saying to people, you don't have to have a steak. Like, you can have a dry aged burger, which is like a steak in a burger. It's quick.
Yeah, you have the flavour of all the beef through the fat.
The whole lot of it, you know. And even with the beef man, with the kids there on a Monday, you don't have to know the kid. You're busy. There's stuff going on Monday night. You have nice burger there, like you did, Tom, homemade wedges or homemade chips.
Easy, quick. That's fast food.
That's best. And that's fast food, yeah. You don't have to mess around with any. I suppose I might just go through the different cuts as well, Tom, that we're using, I suppose. Yeah. But these are meatballs are huge for us. We do a marinate one, and we do a plain meatball, like.
And again, a very easy, versatile meal
for everything.
We adapted.
We do
different ways.
I'd be afraid to even ask Kosha how many meatballs we make here in the week, like, do you know, but they're all around the same size, because for pasta and stuff like that too, which you can see with those how lean they are, like, do you know what I mean? So
kids will love it.
Oh yeah, we don't want them too fat either, so the kids like the flavour, you know, and stuff like this. They're the most popular ones. Then this is our beef on the bone. That we bone these out as well for our ribeye steaks as well. We also have them there for our entrecots, you know, the ones on the bone. Sorry.
Yes.
This one here.
Look at that. That just sealed how it's.
Oh,
just little salt and pepper. Sealed. Oh my God, into the oven, put out about 160, I'd say. And something like that would take, I'd say 40 minutes, about 160, and just leave it rest then. Oh, beautiful. Fighting over the bone.
Our young flip pork, he loves it. Oh my God, it's the first part that's gone. But it's lovely, like, and it's nice, and like, it's a nice, easy meal. I'm not saying easy meal. Once you perfect your steak at home, and your roast, like, it's beautiful. Like, you won't get it anywhere, you know. And it's the way you like it. You know, if you want it cooked, you know, cooked whatever way you want it done.
And it's just about taking your time and leaving it rest.
Yeah.
And this is the pro. Look, here we go then.
Yeah, back to the pro. Yeah. I was saying to Fiona, we'd have to bring them into the shop, Tom, like it does.
Yeah.
We've been using them at home now. Jeez, yeah.
And you just, when you do, so much time has gone into it. Minding the cattle, minding the beef, and then you overcook it.
Oh, so, yeah, because we were even saying with some of the beef, like you're talking 2.5 years from the start to when we get in the plate. Like, it's a lot of work in it.
It is a lot of work.
Do you know, from everyone's job all the way down, you know?
Yeah.
So like, and especially when you're cooking at home, like that's the last piece, so you want to make sure,
Yeah.
do you know?
The end of the food chain that you're taking care of.
That you're taking care of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You have a bigger one here. This is
There's a bigger one there, yeah. People have tomahawks, like we call it baby tomahawks and stuff like that. No, you have the big bone. We do it as well, like, but it's more for show really.
It
Like.
looks good though.
It looks unreal, you know. So what we do, we call them baby tomahawks, and we just cut the bone to about this size.
Gorgeous.
You know, because most people at home, you know, if this for one or
They
two.
couldn't fit in the oven anyway.
Yeah, so we call it baby. Very popular, and like as a ribeye, it's very popular as well.
Beautiful. And that roasted in carbs, you know, and the
Oh yeah, real share steak for 3 or 4 people. Tom,
Gorgeous.
isn't it? Do you know?
It's really good.
We had it a few. Like I'm lucky here. Sometimes I have to do a lot of taste testing with the beef, Tom. So it's great. Like so, when we have it at home, you slice it fine. Like cheese, it's fab. Yeah, it's fab.
But again, slow cook that'll be about 2, you know, and a low heat. Cheese is beautiful. It's about 700 grams, let's say.
Yeah.
Am I doing?
What you believe, Tom? It's
an hour?
exactly 7:05 or something.
Is it?
Fairly quick. You're fairly good there. Yeah.
It's lovely.
Oh,
But you'd
fab,
expect
yeah.
it to be heavier. You can see how, you know, the moisture has kind of
it's
come
solid.
out. You'd expect it to be heavier.
That's our fillet steak, Tom. And this is another one that we put a lot of work into, that fillet as well. As you can see there, that's the grain. Now we take all the fat and everything off it. This is the bar, yeah. So we're only getting the best of it. And you can even see, like, it's not, do you know, it's solid as well. Now, like, we don't dry age these as long, like, you know what I mean? We bone out our beef, then these are on, I think kept on the bone maybe only about 14 days. Because we found you can go up to maybe 15, 16, 17 days, but they won't get any better.
No,
do you know what I mean?
it's
It's
the prime beef.
yeah, it's at its best then.
That muscle's hardly ever used in the
Hardly
that's why
ever.
it's so tender.
And we take all the fat off it, do you know, all the
Silver
sinews,
skin's
all
gone.
the silver skins, all that is gone then. You know, so it is, it is
But
beautiful.
like flash fried in like about 1 centimeter, just 1 minute each side.
Beautiful, yeah. And still, like, fillet still be very popular steak as well.
Oh, it is,
you
of course.
know,
It's easily cooked, you know,
easy,
you
yeah.
can mind the flavour and everything.
That's our T-bone then, Tom. As you can see now, yeah, we took a good bit of the stuff off this. This is a good bit of trimming to do yet.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like.
There's the fillet there on the inside.
Fillet, yeah, so that's our fillet here on the inside, yeah. And that's our bonus then. So we do those porterhouse steaks, you know, with the bone in, people like them as well for flavour, yeah. We only do about 4 of them off the wing rib, about that size. We get 4 nice steaks after, like. But they're fab. That's another little roast we start putting in the back time, which is just your round roast.
Oh yeah.
Now we didn't season it, like, but some people like lean beef as well, but we'd put it with just a bit of butter in this if they wanted ours.
Gorgeous.
But it's lovely too, and the same
And
thing.
just put the seasoning after it. Sometimes if you put the seasoning in the bag, it draws all the moisture out of the
Yeah.
steak. You know, I suppose it's like a speeded up version of what you're doing in the fridge.
Yeah. And this is like we tried it there a few weeks ago. It's beautiful too, like slow. It's not, we don't have any chop left after the weekend now, so I was supposed to show you. I'll show you these ones first. That's our sirloin now, Tom. That's dry aged as well now.
Look at the colour in that.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the darkness from the outside of it. You might see it's better there like that. Now when that started, Tom, like the fat was like this, so we had to trim off a lot of it, you know, because the thing. But you can see even to touch it, like it's solid.
Absolutely firm. Beautiful.
And when we started drying aging the rumps first, I thought, oh Jesus, it's too long. It's this, but geez, the flavour off
The
it is
difference, yeah.
completely. You know. And
Plus it'll be much more tender as well after.
much more tender. And like you find it is definitely a unique, like good beef is a unique flavour. It's like anything else. Like once, do you know, sometimes there you have beef and you try and you say, Jesus, beautiful. And then you try another piece like a week later. That's off different, like different, like.
Yeah.
And like
That's why it's famous all over the world. That's why people are looking for Irish beef, grass-fed beef.
oh yeah, but you, yeah,
everywhere.
But you've been all over the world too, Tom. Like, and I even see there, I've cut beef from every country. And like, you cannot beat Irish beef.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Talk what you want. We have the weather, we have the climate, we have the people producing it.
Yeah, and you have the breeds that we want that are suitable to the weather.
Exactly. Even though you've seen on the Dexter beef, those short ones get more popular. People have them at home, even where we live now. Anywhere you go past, you see 1 or 2. You know, people get them. It's lovely.
Yeah,
Do you know, it's lovely to see. Yeah. That's our brisket then, Tom.
Yeah, that
No.
can take a long while to cook, but it's an absolutely
Beautiful, yeah.
stunning flavour, and the brisket is beautiful. But you'll be looking at probably 8 or 9 hours to cook that.
We give it to a few people when they come into the shop there. We put it into Pepsi Cola.
Oh,
we
yeah.
And we use that dry rub from West Kerry's sea salt, their dry rub. And we put Pepsi Cola and a small bit of barbecue sauce. And we left it for 3 days in a tub. And then we cut it into portions and then put them into those cooking bags. We gave them to a few people to try it. It's
Oh, stunning! It's beautiful because the
Oh,
flavour is
God.
so strong, and like it's able to take lots of different flavours. You know, you have different types of rubs and a few. This coffee rub is lovely with that.
Lovely,
It's just a mixture of coffee and different spices, rubbing into it with a little bit of salt, but then into an oven. Because I suppose because it's cooking for so long, you don't really need to marinate it for that long. You know,
No.
if you have the beef like it is, put the rub into it. You have different types. There's coffee, there's spice with Mexican spices, there's different barbecue spices. But even if you don't have any of them yourself, just rub in Cajun, any type of strong spice, it'll take it well.
Take it, yeah. And you're cooking it
into
for
the
that
oven.
long. Yeah.
Cover. You need a little bit of either apple juice or pineapple juice or a beer even, just some moisture, and cover it so that the moisture stays inside it. In a low oven, about 120, 130 degrees,
Leave it off.
9 hours. Oh. And it's just, I think that the makeup of the brisket just keeps well. The fibres kind of cook well, and
They do, yeah. And even when you're
Still a
putting it in
bite
the
to
pot, they're the stringy bits of it.
beautiful.
Oh,
Or if you cut it, and you can still have slivers of it.
Yes.
Even after 9 hours cooking, it's not going to fall off.
No.
But
And
it's
we've cured this for corned beef as well, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
A lean one, and we've cured topside, and we've done a dry cure corned beef, the same as we did a dry cure bacon. And I'm not joking, it's unreal.
beautiful. It's
Oh my
beautiful.
God, I was even sent to film there, but it's beautiful, and we probably should do more of it. We were even saying we probably should do more of it for the winter time.
Yeah,
the
Christmas.
it's fab.
And it lasts long. It lasts a good long time in the fridge, because it's cured.
Yeah. We have even had people there like curing it then and putting those peppercorns and different rubs on the top and using it as pastrami.
Oh yeah.
We had it there for sandwiches and cheese. It's
Beautiful.
fab.
But you need to make sure you're carving it across the grain.
Across
And
the
just
grain.
leave it.
So what we're starting to do now is putting marks in it, so when they take it out, then they can see then which way to
Yes.
slice it. Then just because the same thing. Do you know when you take it home, you're busy, you put it out the thing, then you take a slice. And if you
Especially if
don't,
you're covered in rubber, you don't see which
geez,
way the
yeah.
grain is
Yeah.
going. Because it could be true if you carve it the wrong way.
yeah.
You could have string